Southeast Asia's push for clean energy is gaining new momentum with the launch of Sustainable Asia Renewable Assets, or SARA, which plans to build 500 megawatts of renewable energy projects across the region. To discuss its area of focus, we have Rohit Anand from British International Investment and Wyman Chan from SUSI Partners. Starting with Rohit, what types of renewable energy projects will SARA focus on?
Before I talk about SARA, I'd like to talk about BII's entry into Southeast Asia, which we started in 2022 after a two-decade gap, with an intent to invest about 500 million pounds in climate finance, largely focusing on Indonesia, Vietnam, and the Philippines. So we are well underway now in this process, and we are investing in opportunities across renewable energy, electric vehicles, circular economy, waste, and water. And this is meant to contribute towards our commitment to make 30% of our investments in climate finance globally. And Southeast Asia is a really important part of the climate change challenge, hence our focus here. As part of that portfolio, we have partnered with SUSI as well as the FMO teams to create this new platform. And the idea really is that we are looking to build a portfolio of low carbon energy generation assets across wind, solar, and potentially other technologies. The idea really is to build a scaled portfolio of 500 megawatts over the next 3-4 years to demonstrate that you can build high quality businesses in this region, as we see a lot of investors are waiting on the sidelines. And there is a need for certain investors to take the early stage risk and build the sort of high quality enterprises which can then be ready to receive capital from others.
SARA is a platform, I think, that's going to be dedicated towards building out renewable assets, but with a specific focus on the emerging markets of Southeast Asia. So I think that's something that would set us very much apart.
Speaking of what sets them apart, there may be similar renewable energy platforms out there, but how is SARA different in the region?
As an investor in the energy transition infrastructure assets, SUSI is quite, acquainted with a number of different opportunities that are available in the market. But what we've found so far is that with different partners and different investment opportunities, there may be certain areas that are lacking, in which we have to sort of plug the gap, if you will, in terms of, say, knowledge transfer, technical standards, environmental and social standards, and so on and so forth. So where SARA stands differently is that we are going to implement all of these things ourselves to a standard that is satisfactory to our investors, including BII and FMO, who are shareholders in SARA. So the idea is that if we can start this from scratch, we can maintain the standards better, more consistently across the different jurisdictions in Southeast Asia. So that's where the difference is.
Yeah, I agree. And I think this part of the world needs, almost like a couple of $100 billion to go into this energy transition space. So you need a lot of good quality companies which have top tier governance, really capable and proven management teams, and a sizable enough portfolio that the large investors can channel the capital into this industry. So I think that if you look at the amount of capital waiting on the sidelines in Southeast Asia versus the number of companies which are ready to receive them, there is a big imbalance because there is a shortage of high quality, well-governed platforms in the region, and which is what we intend to build here.
On that note, Rohit, any specific challenge or challenges that SARA is anticipating when it comes to executing greenfield projects?
We have an intention to build quite a lot of new capacity. And while you build new capacity in these markets, you have to deal with both uncertain regulations as well as sometimes challenging construction projects. So those are the two key issues which we will have to manage, because we want to make sure that we are taking the right projects forward and ensure that all of the capital which is invested actually results in operating capacity as well as good financial returns. The other, I would say, challenge stroke opportunity is that we have to build a company which has top tier governance as well as standards on the environmental and social side. And that's something that will be an important focus area for us going forward.
On the challenges that we're going to face, I think aside from sort of the standard project level challenges around construction risk and regulatory risk, generally, I think there's a sense that, we need to match assets with capital. I think that there's, as Rohit has already pointed out, there's a lot of capital available that's ready and willing to come into the energy transition space in emerging Asia. However, there is a lack of high quality assets. So our goal is really to provide our investors with those high quality assets, maintain that quality, and plug the gap where it exists in terms of talented operators and qualified management of those assets. So that's our goal for SARA.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights, Rohit and Wyman. Looking forward to having you both back on the program.
Thank you, Sis, and thanks a lot to your viewers as well.
Thank you for your time.
Once again, those were Rohit Anand, Regional Head for Southeast Asia and Asia Head of Infrastructure Equity at BII, and Wyman Chan, Managing Director and Head of Asia at SUSI Partners AG. For more news, visit asian-power.com.